Yep, koala bear time. I realized today that before I was kind of letting mine pick what little goodies I used to record these. Now I'm switching over to letting Heart do that. So Koala Bear and I are going to present stepping outside of time and restriction. Maybe koala bears live there already. That's why they're not in a hurry. Okay, this journal is from July 21st, 2010. First one of that day, Mayan day for Vulture, or wisdom. Good morning, or whatever the flippin' clock says the time is where your body resides. Ha! No, strike that. Oh boy, I goofed. I wrote it right. See, this going from written to live and then live and written together, I'll mess up now and then. So let me start again. Okay, good morning, or whatever the flippin' clock says that the time is where you reside. No, strike that. Where your body resides. How about we begin relying less on the clock today, right now? What say you? Do you realize, or have you considered that the clock, like the lines down the road, is just a convention? That it defines nothing at all that is real? It's just a convenience, you know, nothing more. It has no deep or lasting reality to it. None worthy, anyway, of the depth of attention and almost reverence which we seem to pay to it. If you want to begin trying this experiment, it will feel quite strange at first. You'll feel a bit lost when you begin removing clocks from the various rooms, and that one from your wrist as well. It's not worthy of all that reverence, you know. It's a myth. It's got us kind of lost. Now, let's take a more natural perspective on things for a while. Just see what happens. We could be more like the birds, for instance. They neither know clock time nor do they have any clue about those things that we call borders. Oh, they know boundaries, all right. Birds have their territories, but these are more natural things. They mean something. And they are often marked by something real, like scent markings or bird song audibility, or some such clue. Lines on a map they've no use for. Why do we? We've allowed ourselves to be bordered and bounded in with so many restrictions and conventions that we've lost something in the midst. And we don't even really know what it is. It's become that lost. Well, I'll tell you what it is. Contact with ourself, with our heart. We've all but lost that. It's no wonder we became vulnerable to manipulation. We lost our very authenticity, our anchor to deep reality. We got stuck on the surface of life. What it amounts to is that we let mind take over. Now think about it. Mind won't want to do this. It may rebel and try to veer off, but think about it anyway. Take charge. We're taking back the reins now, and we're willing to discipline mind in whole new ways and directions. We've invited truth into the room, into the equation, and unless we're completely one with her, which obviously we're not, or we wouldn't have to invite her in, then she brings change. There's something natural about things, about those things whose foundation, whose bedrock is truth, that is immediately powerful. It's almost as if they're alive somehow. Well, actually, they are, of course. But let's approach this more slowly than that. Don't want to scare you away. Have you felt the change since the weekend of July 17th, the conscious convergence? Before that, there was an eclipse and another astrological formation that signaled the change. Things are changing so fast now, it can be challenging to keep up, to witness and clearly notice the oncoming differences. That's not really necessary, though. Just noting that something, even an undefinable something, is different, that's enough. Just be aware. We will shortly be entering such a whirlwind of change that the koala bears, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll all look back to these as the good old slow days, my friends. All of this is due to start happening within a 12-month. We enter the last major phase or level of the Mayan calendar in spring of next year. We've less than 9 months to adapt and prepare, to settle down into heart, for that's the best, the finest preparation of all. You can't do better than that. Now, I want to let all care, all worry and concern about the future just fall away. Let it fall off your shoulders to the ground. Give it to the earth if you like. Mother Earth will accept it from you and transmute it. It doesn't help you or her or anything, for you to be tense and so concerned like that. It just mucks things up, like your intuition. Heart isn't tense at all, my friends. It's the epitome of deep peace and relaxation, like us koala bears. Even in the midst of intense action, there remains that core, that palpable level of calm. You can think of it as your inner koala bear. Find yourself there. It's nothing you have to go out and get or to learn or to master. You're already fully there. That is more you than you are, really, because right now you're still too identified with the mind. Mind isn't real next to heart. Once mind surrenders to heart, then it finds its true reality. As long as we let it control our ship of state, we're both in a mess. That can't work. It won't take us any place we long to go, try as it might, and it will. Oh, mind tries all right. That's what it's known for. All that trying wears me out. Well, do consider. You don't have to try to be something that you already are. You don't have to try to get something that you already have. Now, mind will resist this. Mind doesn't believe it has this ephemeral something we're discussing here, your presence in heart. Know why? Because mind can't possibly enter there. So to the mind, it's not real. Do you see that? As long as you're relying on mind, waiting on mind to approve of this, well, have they served snow cones in hell lately? Anyway. And as long as you take your cue to what reality is from the mind, then precisely that long will your presence in heart seem unreal to you too. You're not mind, my dear. It's time you started knowing it. Whenever you feel mind's got too much of the upper hand and needs a real set down, as you might know, I've got the journal designed just for that. Links in the transcript. It's called The Cloud of Knowing. Open letter to mind. And any who have read are aware of the ancient book called The Cloud of Unknowing will get the illusion there. It's the knowing itself that produces the cloud of obscuration. Unknowing is far preferable if you understand this reference. Mind is more the problem just now than it is the solution. And this is a beautiful situation, really. Why is that? How could it possibly be beautiful, you wonder? Well, 2 reasons. First, because there is a solution. Second, because the solution is sufficiently radical that it brings hope for real and significant change. No superficial stuff. No doubt we're all ready for that. We've been promised real change, by so many things, especially by politicians and big business, that we've become jaded to those words. Well, the change wrought by this solution is so radical as to even obscure the old reality entirely. The one we're living in now, most of us, for the most part, me too. This potential change is so radical, it's like walking from hell into a heaven of sorts. I'd say it's like black and white, but that's just too dualistic. It partakes of that old consciousness level too much. What you have ahead of you is a return to power so vast, your own, that all of us will be quite astounded. It's quite an adjustment to make. The old you couldn't have done it. That's why it didn't happen then, you know. And that's why people like me are being given this song to sing about what's ahead, to help you prepare so you're more nimble and ready to make the necessary changes. You can even start now. Nothing is holding you back, and none compels. You are, if you choose it, taking back your very own sovereignty over life. Your life. No one else's, mind you. Those are mind games. We don't control others, my friends. And we don't require others to make changes in order to please us. That's abuse of power, number 1. And not knowing where your natural boundaries are, number 2. No bird is so stupid, nor are you. Third, it's plain rude. Leave people alone. Respect them and their right to set their own boundaries on their own lives. So you get to be sovereign, all right, but over your own domain. So first, we pull our noses out of other people's business. We look to our own. Believe me, there's plenty of meat there to work on, or eucalyptus leaves. It's all relative. The first thing is training the mind, who does not abdicate the throne of dominion willingly. Mind just doesn't understand, and it doesn't want to step down until it does. It thinks it gets to rule on who takes over for it. Well, you know what to do about that. Come on now, it's your mind. Take control.